I'm honored to be here on behalf of Sask Power at this Northern Saskatchewan Virtual Career Fair. I am a band member at the Star Blanket Cree Nation, and I have been working for Sask Power now for about 8 years. I started with the company in human resources as an Aboriginal recruitment consultant. And over time, I just knew that I wanted to end up in Indigenous relations because I saw that the important work and that's being done, and I feel that the Indigenous relations file is going to be key moving forward with all of the regulatory changes happening right now, as you all know. So I enjoy my job. I love working for Sask Power, and this past 3 years in the Indigenous relations has been awesome. A little bit of a learning curve, but I am going to go back and tell you a little bit about some of the cool things working for Sask Power. So once again, I'm a band member of the Star Blanket Cree Nation. My mother is from the Whitecap Dakota First Nation, just outside of Saskatoon. If you're familiar with the Dakota Dunes Casino, that's where she's from. So I am born and raised in Treaty 4 in southern Saskatchewan. And I also wanted to acknowledge that I am from the Treaty 4 territory and traditional lands of the Métis. And I am currently also in Treaty 4 here in Manitoba. There are 2 Treaty 4 bands in Manitoba, and one of them is Sapatawiak, and the other one is Wayway. So great to be coming to you from Treaty 4 in Manitoba. I will tell you a little bit about our company, Sask Power. So as you know, we are the leading energy supplier, and what we do is we deliver power to the people of Saskatchewan. We are a fully integrated electrical utility, and of course, the province's largest crown corporation. So when we talk about crown corporations, we talk about SaskTel, Sask Government Insurance, Sask Water, all of those different crowns, and Sask Power is, of course, the biggest one of them. We serve over 545,000 customers throughout the province, and we have a number of power stations. We operate 6 natural gas-fired facilities, 3 coal-fired stations, 7 hydro stations, and 2 wind power facilities. We also purchase electricity from independent power producers, as well as Manitoba Hydro, to bring our total generating capacity to just under 5,000 megawatts. So our customers can be split into 3 segments. That would be residential, small and medium business, as well as key and major accounts. And I'll tell you the differences between those right now. So residential, those are non-business customers. Those would be citizens, approximately 400,000 customer accounts. We also have non-residential customers with less than 5 gigawatt hours aggregate consumption. That's approximately 110,000 customer accounts. And we also have some major accounts. Those would be greater than 5 gigawatt hours aggregate consumptions and not a key account customer. Approximately 66 key and 111 major customers. So quite a bit we have going on within the company. So we serve our customers through transmission and distribution. So transmission would be the large steel structures that you see out in the field that take the power. So transmission lines help in the movement of electricity from a power plant or a power station to the various substations, whereas the distribution lines, those are the wooden ones that you'd see along the highway. So those ones carry electricity from the substation to the consumer's end. These are the residential and commercial customers. So transmission accounts only make up 0.02% of the total number of accounts at Sask Power. However, they account for 47% of the total consumption of energy in province. And on the distribution end, we have over 545,000 accounts, which is equal to just over 53% of the total energy consumption within Saskatchewan. So this is our system. This map shows all of our generating facilities as well as our major transmission lines. The total generating capacity from all of the sources combined equals just short of 5,000 megawatts. For our hydro facilities, those produce 864 megawatts. Our natural gas facilities produce 2,160 megawatts. We also have several wind facilities that produce 240 megawatts of energy, as well as customer-generated solar capacity, and that produces close to 40 megawatts. And of course, as we transition from the use of coal to renewable energy sources, wind and solar will increase as we move forward. However, wind and sunlight are not consistent, so there are some reliability issues that we will need to address as we move forward. Of course, we have our coal plants in the southeast Saskatchewan. They generate over 1,500 megawatts of energy. These are the Shand and Boundary Dam power stations in Estevan, as well as the Poplar River power station, which is in Coronach. So I'll tell you a little bit about the workforce at Sask Power. So we currently have just over 3,300 employees. So it's grown over the last handful of years. However, the average age of all of these employees is 42.7 years, which to me is not that old. but it does cause a little bit of an issue in terms of workforce longevity and continuity. Only 11% of our workforce right now are under the age of 30. So obviously there is a huge challenge that exists for Sask Power, and the fact that 53%, so over half of our core employees are eligible to retire within the next 10 years, which means that we are going to face recruitment challenges due to the impending exodus from the workforce. And that's common. I don't think that's just in Saskatchewan. That is likely throughout the country as well. Excuse me. So tell you a little bit about why you might want to consider Sask Power as a place to go once you get your education and you're looking to enter the workforce. We have won several top employer awards, including the one for young people in Canada. We've also been Saskatchewan's top employer mentioned on that list, as well as listed on Canada's best diversity employer. Sask Power has also received gold status in progressive Aboriginal relations as determined by the Canadian Council for Aboriginal Business. We will talk a little bit about our competitive salaries and our benefits as we move on. We offer employees in our many challenging positions available all across the entire province. So of course we have head office, the headquarters in Regina, but we do have not only our power stations located throughout the province, we also have our customer service areas where we handle our billing. So those are located throughout the province as well. So a lot of jobs, 3,300 in total right now, but 53%, over half of the workforce set to retire within 10 years. So we're looking for you guys to come work for us. That's why we're here today. So I'll give you a little bit of employment information, some of the powerful perks of working for Sask Power. And before we get into this, I'll tell you what my favorite one is. There are a lot of benefits at Sask Power, but my favorite one is what's called the flexible spending account. And that one is every year in mid-January. And of course, we all know that Christmas can be a drain when you have children and family and all that kind of stuff. So I always tend to be a little bit thin in the wallet right after Christmas. So for the flexible spending account, what you can do is that's $3,000 that you can put towards any of your benefits, or in-scope employees can purchase vacation days. I know out of scope we can't anymore, but I've never done that. But what I've always done for the whole 8 years I've been with the company is just take the payout. You can take the full $3,000 payout, and I am totally happy with that. Like I said, it helps me right after Christmas time. And of course, it is taxed, and you know, a lot of stuff comes off of it, so you don't necessarily get the full 3,000. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how much comes off actually as you get moving into the workforce. But all of that comes for with lots of perks that covers your pensions, your benefits, your health, all that cool stuff. So I'll tell you a little about this in terms of our operations positions. So those would be the ones out at the power stations. They get 2 weekends out of 5 off. They also get 17 bank days off per year. and 4 8-hour days of family leave. I know that it says 3, but that has since been increased to 4 8-hour days of family leave. And I know that in other organizations, in order to use your family leave, it has to be very specific, usually occasions, perhaps death, or sickness within a family, and it has to be someone generally that's in your nuclear family, so meaning your parents or your sisters, brothers, that type of thing, children. But with Sask Power, with our family days, you can just use them for whatever you want. You can just consider them as days off. So whenever you have anything that you think is you consider it family, you can certainly use those, and there will be no questions asked. You simply ask for family leave. So I've got a drum group. We're called the Red Dog Singers from the Star Blanket area, Star Blanket Reserve, and we always end up getting called upon to do the drumming duties at wakes and funerals and that type of thing. So I end up having to use all of my family leave pretty much every year, and I'm totally cool with that. But of course, when you're doing that as a service for the community, of course, none of the people, you're rarely going to be using it for people that you're actually related to. So I'm thankful that the corporation has these dedicated family leave days for whatever you want. So we also have vacation days. So if you were in service for 0 to 7 years, you get 3 weeks. 8 to 14 years, so I'm currently in there, that's 4 weeks. 15 to 24 years, you get 25 days, so 5 weeks. And we do have several employees. We're one of those companies where we do have several employees that have been around for 25 plus years, and they get 30 days. So that's 6 weeks paid holidays. And I know that some of my I never have a problem. with my HR background, I know that your vacation days, generally you want to try to use them up every year so that there's no carryover. It's always best that way administratively, and they also think it's best for work-life balance. So I use those up every year, but I do know that I've had coworkers and colleagues that have a hard time using up some of their vacation, and they end up carrying over some. So it's not ideal to carry over vacation, but there is a certain amount that you're allowed to carry over to the next year. However, for your what's called the bank days off, we get 13 of those that you can use for whatever you want. If you don't use those within the year, then you lose those. So those don't roll over, but your vacation time does. Unionized positions observe all provincial and federal statutory holidays, of course, and overtime is double time. Stats are paid at triple time of work, and 10 hours pay is on days off. We also have something called overlap days out in the operations area as well. So I already spoke about the flexible spending account. So at the beginning of each year, you can allocate your healthcare spending account to your RSP, your pension, and in-scope employees can purchase more vacation days, or as I mentioned, you can take cash. As far as that total goes, the permanent management employees will receive either $3,000 plus 0.32% of their annual salary, or 3.32% of their annual salary, whichever is greater. Am I over time?
Yeah, you sure are. I'm so sorry, but we've got to go
sorry
on.
about that. So, no, that's fine. I'm sorry. I went on too long about how much I love my job. You know, I could probably do this presentation for hours and hours on end. And I apologize for not seeing the signal earlier until I heard the bell. I'll hit the stop share.
Okay, thank you so much. It's actually the first time that we've had Sask Power presenting with us, so we're really happy to have you. I know that Sask Power is looking in northern Saskatchewan. Yeah, absolutely great presentation and well spoken for sure. You've got some questions in the chat there, Wavell. So you definitely want to answer some questions there. Look forward to having you, and we would love to have you come back again. Hopefully we're face-to-face next time.
Yes, for sure. Sounds good.
Okay, so we're going to move on.